Hey there folks, Coach Jayci here with another homebody sculpting and mobility video post. Now, if you haven't yet had to call the paramedics because you've seen your utility bill or the gas prices, then I think you're probably on a different planet. Whatever planet you're on, I suggest you stay there for a while. For the rest of us here, we have to tighten our belts because times are ridiculously hard. Our prices have gone really high. Our mortgages have gone up high. Our utility bills have gone up high. And our wages have not gone up concurrently with that. So, when times are very good, we can be very wasteful. You'll notice that you'll be throwing out garbage all the time because you're buying perishables that you bought yesterday. You never use it. It's no good. However, when it's hard times, you need to make sure you make the most of your pound, your yen, your euro, and whatever it is that currency is. You need to know how to spend your money. Now, I'm just going to have a little bit of a gripe here because I was a teacher for 13 years. I used to get very frustrated with the fact that we would not teach our children life skills that I used to learn at school, which I enjoyed doing, like DIY, fixing things, stitch and sew, cooking, growing things. These were skills that now I can turn to in hard times without having to pay for those services. However, this generation won't know any better, and I'm not having a go at them. It's our fault, but they're going to end up wasting a lot of money on things like takeouts and buying stuff from the grocery stores, which is right at the front of the grocery store, that doesn't last more than a day. This is here to help you so you can have a list of foods that you must have in your grocery basket to last you the week so you don't end up wasting more than you need to do. And you will also make sure that it is healthy for you. Because when you usually tend to buy cheap items, they tend to be very unhealthy as well. So this is a really good guide. Have your pen and paper handy. These are your essentials. Now, number one is rice. Now, do you get brown rice? Do you get white rice? To you, I would say that it's probably best not to get the basmati one because it's not as versatile as if you get normal brown rice. White rice nowadays is fortified with nutrients in them, but I don't think there's that much evidence that they are bioavailable. So for me personally, I'll just get a big bag of brown rice, usually something like 2 kgs, with just me and my partner, but 5 kgs for your family. Can be a little bit expensive to buy it, but over the long run, you will save yourself an absolute arm and a leg. Please go out and get yourself your rice. Number two, you're going to go out and get your flour. Now, again, it's up to you. I always get self-raising flour because self-raising flour is very versatile as well. But you get your plain, you get self-raising, you get your strong flour so you can get your bread and so on. Just make sure there's flour in your cupboards. Now, if you've got nothing else, I just get a little bit of flour, a little bit of water, make a dough, shallow fry it, and I've got dumplings. And it's absolutely great, very tasty, especially if you fry it in a little bit of butter. Can't go wrong. So there is food for you in an emergency. And again, I didn't have to go and get a takeout at that time. Next up, you want to make sure you've got your beans. So whether it be your butter beans, black-eyed beans, chickpeas, you name it, the hard shell beans, they will last you for months. And the thing with these beans, again, you need to make sure that they are cooked properly. Don't be forcing yourself to eat something that's not prepared properly, as it can be very toxic and pretty fatal, to be honest with you. So make sure you've got your beans, but make sure you cook your beans properly. Next up, you want to make sure you've got frozen vegetables. Now, this is going down the more perishable segment of this video, but if you buy vegetables that are fresh from the front of the store, again, like I said at the beginning of the video, it's going to go off very quickly. You still find that you'll get the nutrients you require from frozen vegetables. So go and get yourself a bag of mixed vegetables, whether it be broccoli or chopped carrots and peas and what have you. And again, if you mix that with your rice, you've got a great meal there. And with your beans, oh, that's fantastic. And you'll be none the wiser for anybody who came to visit you that you're struggling through hard times. Right, next up, you want to make sure that you have your oils. Now, oils, this is the one that usually kills people. Yes, if you get vegetable oils or if you get seed oils, you don't want to be having that at all. And that's the reason why it's not that advisable to be getting a lot of takeout, because you have no idea what oils it's been cooked in. However, if you get yourself your olive oil, your extra virgin oil, or maybe coconut oil, because coconut oil can be cooked at a higher temperature than your extra virgin oil. Once it starts to smoke, it kind of loses its composition. It turns into the same sort of saturated oil as you have with your vegetable oils and your seed oils. So cook with those ones with care, but you want to have them in your cupboards. Otherwise, you're not cooking anything really, to be honest with you. Right, now you want to have a base and a flavor for all of your foods. And without tomatoes, really you haven't got that good of a base. So you want to get yourself some tomatoes, but again, if you get your tin tomatoes, then of course they can get really big tin tomatoes. And once you've opened the tin, of course, you want to put the rest of it in a Tupperware jar. But with that, chop up some onions, which is the next thing on the list, and you've got a wonderful base. After that, you want to make sure you've got loads of different spices. Now, I can't tell you what spices you should get because it all depends where you come from and what kind of food flavor you like. But for me, I always like to make sure that I've got at least mixed spices, a nice mixed spice, and also some paprika. That's always the best thing to put on my meats to start off with. But I'm not going to tell you how to cook your meats. Just make sure you've got a range of different spices. Again, not very expensive. You've got that, and that's fantastic. Right. Next up is pastas. Now, with pastas, again, this is something I would say if I'm giving somebody advice on keeping the weight down to avoid, but it's good to have in your cupboards in case of hard times. Now, get yourself some whole grain pastas. Don't bother with the white stuff because it's got nothing in it whatsoever. Get the whole grain bar pastas and buy bags of it because it's so cheap. You can't go wrong again with that in your cupboards. Again, don't have to eat these things immediately. If you're all right, you've got some money to spare, but in hard times, at least it's there for you. Right, now, with your chicken, okay, get your frozen chicken again. Really, to be honest with you, in hard times, your freezer needs to be filled up. If you've got an empty freezer, you're going to be throwing lots of things away. But you can get lots of big packs of frozen chicken. You also got, like, if you go to Costco, you can get these already cooked, pre-cooked chickens, which are chopped up into little pieces. And again, you don't have to spend ages preparing your chicken. All you have to do is shallow fry it and then mix it with your herbs and your spices and with your base, which is your tomatoes and the onions, and you're good to go with a very good meal there. Okay. Also, we've got our mince, so packets of mince. Again, will last you more than one meal. It must even be 2 or 3 different meals. So there you go on your list there. Okay, now, so we go through all of them so far. We've got rice, we've got our flour, we've got our beans, we've got our olive oils, coconut oils, tomatoes, onions, pastas, chicken, and your meats. And there you go. You've got also your herbs and your spices. Now, of course, we've forgotten what we're going to drink. If you've got a water filter, then of course you can have your water, and that's great. However, I like to have something with a bit of carbonation in it. So if I got sparkling water, mix that with apple cider vinegar. So just a drop apple cider vinegar in there, sparkling water, you've got really, really good soft drink. Maybe a little bit of lemon in there, right? But I'm not that big a fan of any other sort of soft drink. So that's my essentials for you. Once you've got that in your basket, everything else is surplus to requirements and you cannot go wrong. But if you think that I've missed something, by all means, hit me up on that. Make a comment down there. But more important, remember to like and subscribe as we work together to feel great, look good, and enjoy moving. I'll see you in the next video post.